how to be grounded here on the earth plane. This is a difficult practice. So many of us are stuck in the past and stuck in the future that we're not grounded here in this present moment. And I see this with a lot of clients that I work with, especially when I do energy work. If they're not grounded here on the earth plane, the energy all the way from their feet are rising up to their head. They either are very cerebral people, thinking about a lot of things, or they could also be heavy meditators or very connected spiritually, that they're again not connected here. And so we want to be balanced. We don't want to be too grounded and too flighty. We want to be in the middle. We want to be grounded, but also in our spiritual selves. So, it's hard to connect and be grounded here on the earth plane when we again have all that energy rising up into our head. So here's something that I continue to remind people. The brain is not you. Okay? We have a relationship with it, and so therefore we feel like the brain is us, like our thoughts are us. And so we do a lot of what our brain tells us. We go into that angry story and we marinate and we tell others why and justify why we're angry, or we're thinking of other past situations that happened in our lives and we dwell in it and we stay depressed in it, or we think of the future and create stories then that hadn't even happened, and we are again putting all this energy into our anxiety. So when we do this, we're not in the present moment. And we're also listening to our brain. Our brain is letting us be the guide of where we go. We're not being in the present moment, and we're not listening to our soul. So many of us, again, are so disconnected with our soul because we think the mind is the soul and the mind is running the show. But we need to change that and realize it's the soul that needs to be in charge. It's the soul that needs to be the charge, not the mind. And the soul lives within the body. And when we're more grounded, we're more in our body. And we're more in our body, we're more in our soul. And we're listening more to our body and our soul, what it's trying to tell us, rather than the mind. So all the energy keeps running to this mind and gets us out of our body and not grounded. And so we are losing ourselves. So here's the trick. Come back to the breath, which brings us into our body, and check in with your soul. Now, what does my soul want to do today? Well, my mind thinks I need to do yoga and I need to do my meditation for an hour, and then I need to go take my shower and breakfast and then go to work and do all this stuff. That's what my mind's telling me I should do. And if I don't do that, I feel guilty. Okay? This is what the stories that we start to create. We have to do the routine. No. What does your soul want? Does your soul want to do yoga? Does your soul want to do a meditation? Does your soul want to, do whatever? Do you want to journal? Do you want to do this? Now, I'm not saying neglect the things that we have to do, like go to work. But what I am saying is so many people I know are so hard on themselves because they feel like you have to do these things and then they feel guilty. I fall trapped to that sometimes too. I think we all do. But the trick is to remember that the routine and what our mind is telling us that we think we should do based on the external world, that we need to let go of that guilt and that overexerting stress that we put upon ourselves to create this story for ourselves. We need to connect more with our body and our soul. What does my soul want to do right now? So being more grounded and being more in your body and being more with your soul, that's where we want to be. That's where we come into our aligned self. That's where we're coming into our true self. That's when we're honoring and respecting ourselves. Again, rather than this ego-driven, like I gotta do this because otherwise I won't be good enough. Otherwise I won't get that goal. Otherwise blah, 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 blah. But if we drop back and just be and stop overexerting ourselves to an unnecessary degree, then we will actually have more balance within ourselves. So again, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have goals, that we shouldn't, move towards something, that we shouldn't work and train towards something. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the unnecessary pressure that we put on ourselves through the avenue of the mind running the show. We don't want the mind to run the show. And everyone seems to be tricked into thinking that the mind is who we are, and the mind therefore will guide what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to think, how we're supposed to be. So get more grounded in your body. Get more connected here in the present moment with your body. Listen more to what your soul wants and honor and respect that.